Like, Luka, look, you just standing there. Look, watch this again, Luka. He just went right by. Luka, what are you doing?
I'll say there was some effort on that one.
Fouling. Luka, what are you doing? Get back into play, Luka. Luka. He would hate me. Luka, come on, bro.
There's literally channels dedicated to low basketball IQ that just like to shred guys like Austin Reaves. I never knew, but somebody pointed me in that direction. I couldn't even watch 5 seconds of it, bro. I lost brain cells just being there. There's some real Bron Glazers that just like to hate on everybody not named LeBron, and they're looking really silly right now because they like to talk trash about me for giving Austin Reaves his obvious due props. Another 30 piece. What you gotta say now, clown? So it's like they always got something to say. Listen, I will never go back on that channel, not even for 5 seconds.
I learned the game from some heavyweights.
Let's bring it. I see a veteran
buses
up in
making
here, man.
change from
MJ.
another place.
Bring in my good friend, man. How you doing, brother? I know you got a lot to say about Scam. I know you got a lot.
That's his name, Dorman Scam. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, bro. I hate to tell you. I'm gonna be honest with you, Dan.
I'm sorry
As a
in
Laker,
advance if I let
you guys gotta stop thinking of mediocre. The dude, now y'all got on one channel, they say the players are trash on his one channel.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about you right now, the locker room. He said all the players are trash.
Please don't tell me that was you saying the 96 Sonics. This is what you got to realize, Drew. It's very easy to out-debate locker room. It's not very challenging whatsoever. The fact that you let locker room outwit you and out-debate you, it says a lot. We're not talking about a very high-level basketball mind, and you got outwitted by the locker room.
I will tell you why the beef started with me and Reggie, right? Reggie fucked one of my niggas' bitches, right? The locker room went to fuck one of my niggas' bitches, right?
What?
That's what he fucking did. He fucking disrespected the bitch.
Where was she raised? Where did she raise her?
I will tell you why the beef started with me and Reggie, right? Reggie fucked one of my niggas' bitches, right? The locker room went to fuck one of my niggas' bitches, right?
What?
That's what he fucking did. He fucking disrespected the bitch.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, man, we are back, folks. We are back, man, and we got to keep the conversation rolling, folks. We got to keep it rolling tonight. As you guys know, man, the Fakers are on a roll, folks. The Fakers are on a roll. Now, me personally, right, I've hated this a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, okay? As you guys know, I am a Faker hater these days, okay? Just not really a fan of what I'm watching. I can't even lie to you guys. I'm really just not a fan of what I've been watching. A lot of you guys might not know, but I am not a Puka fan, okay? I do not like Puka at all. That's just me, though, right? Everybody's entitled to their own opinions. They can like who they want to like. But just me personally, folks, I am not a Puka fan. So I've been hating on the Lakers for a while. But over the last, week or two, right, I have been watching this Lakers team objectively. And ladies and gentlemen, we can no longer continue to pretend as if this team isn't good enough to compete deep into the postseason. We can't do that any longer, folks. Now, I was the main one when the season started, right? We created this graphic. We called these dudes Robert's Rejects. These were a collection of players that Rob Pelinka signed over the summer that really nobody wanted, right? Obviously DeAndre Ayton, got bought out by his own team in Portland. Jake LaRavia, really didn't know who the guy was. And then obviously, Marcus Smart was bought out as well, folks. And then he eventually signed with the Lakers. Okay. Now, earlier in the season, folks, right? I was trashing these dudes for obvious reasons, right? They were playing like absolute dog shit. Okay? They were. DeAndre Ayton was playing bad. Jake LaRavia, I mean, he's kind of still playing bad to this day. Marcus Smart was out there basically just running around, folks, out there playing football, right? Told you guys this at the beginning of the year. The dude's a football player. He's a running back. He just wants to kind of stand in and take charges, and, that's all he wants to do, really. Folks, after this recent surge from the Fakers, folks, we can no longer use the same excuses that we were using earlier in the season. And I'm going to tell you guys why I actually like this. Because if you've been listening to the show, you know how I feel about Austin Reaves and Luka. You can't build around this, right? One guy's a stat patter, and then the other guy doesn't even belong in the NBA. And he's only here because of DEI, right? So I've made my thoughts clear on Luka and Austin as a duo. I think it's honestly a joke that we went from LeBron James and Anthony Davis to now we've lowered the bar to now our star duo is Puka and Aston, right? That's a little bit insane to me in and of itself, okay? But it is what it is, right? Since Luka got here last year, folks, what have the excuses been? Right? Last year when the Lakers got clapped up in the playoffs by Minnesota, the excuse was, oh, well, we don't have a center. Oh, but Luka just got here. Oh, but he needed more time. Right? This is what the Puka fans do, folks. Whenever he gets his ass beat, right? They start looking around and they start finding black men to blame. This is what the Puka fan base does. Okay? Now, we saw it happen in Dallas. When Luka got his ass beat, they started looking to their left. They looked to their right. They spotted PJ Washington. They said, yep, we're going to blame you. They spotted Kyrie Irving. They're going to say, yep, it was his fault. Right? This is the Puka fanboy playbook. We know all their plays. We know what sets they're going to run. We know what actions they like to get into out of ass whoopings. Okay? This is the Luka Doncic playbook, folks. It's disgusting. So, what were they doing earlier this year? When DeAndre Ayton, Marcus Smart, and these guys were playing like dog shit trash. What were they doing, folks? They were coming with the excuses. Oh, well, this is a gap year. Oh, well, this team sucks. Oh, well, we got to get LeBron off the books. Well, actually, we're trash because LeBron came back. And yada, 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 yada. Right? They had 1,000 excuses, folks. Whenever Luka and Reaves were getting their asses beat. Whenever they were getting their face punched in, right? There was always an excuse. They were blaming LeBron. Well, folks, I love this. You want to know why I love this? Because now, as the title of the show states, folks, there are no more excuses for Puka and Aston. There no more. LeBron, y'all wanted LeBron to take a backseat to these bums? What has my GOAT done? He's acquiesced. My GOAT has taken a backseat to an undrafted bum. That's what y'all wanted, right? That's what y'all requested. My GOAT acquiesced. Y'all wanted DeAndre Ayton to play with more passion and more energy, right? DeAndre Ayton's playing better. You guys wanted Marcus Smart to step up. Marcus Smart looks like another Defensive Player of the Year candidate over the last month or so. Rob Pelinka goes out and gets you the best three-point sniper in the NBA in Luke Kennard. He goes out and gets you Luke Kennard, folks. So you got your center that you claimed you guys needed from last year. You got that in DeAndre Ayton. You got your perimeter defender in Marcus Smart. And you got Vando on the bench as well. He can come in and D up somebody. You got LeBron playing his role. You got the next Pat Riley and JJ Redick. Folks, what does all this mean? All of this means there's no more excuses for Austin Reaves and Luka. There's no more. There's no more. You know, we had Don C. He called in the last show. Was listening to the call last night. My guy Ty called in and absolutely cooked this dude. Right? Absolutely cooked him. Because Don C is up here talking about he's scared of the Spurs. He's a Luka fan, but he's scared of the Spurs. Right? This is the same nigga last year talking about Luka's a playoff killer. And he done beat Devin Booker and the Suns and the Clippers and OKC and all that. And he's scared of the Spurs. He's scared of De'Aaron Fox and Dylan Harper. But he got the playoff killer on his team, but he's scared of the Spurs. You want to know why he's scared, folks? Because if we play the Spurs, as you guys can see on the screen, folks, somebody's going to get cooked. Somebody's going to get cooked. Somebody's going to get their asses beat. And it's going to be Puka and his butt buddy Aston. They're going to get their asses beat. And it ain't going to be because of Marcus Smart. It won't be because of LeBron. It won't be because of DeAndre Ayton, right? It's going to be because of them. It's going to be because of them. So that's why Don C called in the last show we did talking about he's scared of the fucking Spurs. He's scared of the Spurs. And the craziest part is, folks, is he didn't even say he was scared of Wemby. He didn't even say he was scared of Wemby. This nigga said he's scared of the Spurs' guards. Stephon Castle? Am I missing something, folks? Do Stephon Castle got a ring? Does De'Aaron Fox, has he been to the finals? Does he have a championship? What about Dylan Harper? Isn't he a rookie? You're scared of a rookie, Don C? And you got Puka? The greatest white boy in the world? And you scared of a rookie? Like I said, folks, there are no more excuses. We know you guys are turned up, and we get it, right? The Lakers are on a 5-game win streak, so we know Laker fans are turned up. But folks, tonight the Lakers play the Houston Rockets. Now, if you guys remember the last time we played the Rockets, what happened, folks? On Christmas. Cheeks were clapped, folks. Cheeks were clapped. Hey, Kitschy, stop typing in all caps, dude. What's wrong with you, man? Ladies and gentlemen, the last time we played the Houston Rockets on Christmas Day, cheeks were clapped. Matter of fact, let's recap that game, man. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. Y'all do me a favor, folks, and drop a like on the video. Let's go back to December, folks. What happened the last time the Fakers matched up with the Houston Rockets on Christmas? Oh, wow. They got their asses beat, folks. At home, too, by the way. They were at home, folks. We got this clown, Max. I'm not even going to read this stupid super chat. You're a goofy dude. But thanks for your $20, though. I appreciate that. But yeah, you're a goofy dude. Now let's look at the box score. Oh, wow, that's a nasty. That's nasty. That's nasty, folks. Yeah, let's take a look, folks, at what happened the last time out when the Houston Rockets played the Los Angeles Fakers. Now, at this point, folks, right, Rui Hachimura was still in the starting lineup, as you guys can see. Now, obviously, Rui provided nothing for us that night. He basically was out there running around. He wasn't doing nothing. 0 points, 0 for 6. That's absolutely nasty. So now we've replaced Rui with Marcus Smart. Okay? Shout out to 444 in the chat. We've replaced Rui with Marcus Smart. Okay? When you look at Aston and what he did in the last time out against the Houston Rockets, folks, 12 points on 5 of 8 from the field. 12 points, folks, from the All-Star, the 2-month All-Star, folks. These kinds of numbers will not cut it anymore. No. You guys can't have it both ways. And here's what I mean, chat, when I say these people want to have it both ways. They want to ask LeBron to take a back seat to this bum. And then when my GOAT takes a back seat, the bum plays like a bum. No, buddy. No. They've elevated you, right? Prematurely, unfairly, but they've elevated you. And I'm talking about Aston. They've elevated you to all-star level, right? Well, what do all-stars have to do? They have to show up every night, and they damn sure have to show up against the good teams. You have to show up. That's a requirement now. See, when you're just a role player, right, like you've been for the majority of your career, you can show up, you cannot show up. And we don't really care. But see, now you're at a point now where they want you to be the superstar alongside Puka. So, ladies and gentlemen, a 12-point game from Aston will no longer suffice. That's no longer going to cut it, folks. That's no longer going to cut it. So, I actually like this. I like that we've upped the pressure for Reaves. I like that we've upped the pressure for Luka. Yeah, I like it now. Because now it's all on y'all now. It's on them to close out games now. Y'all, remember, they wanted LeBron to be the third option. So don't be looking for my GOAT when palms get sweaty to come and save you bums. No, y'all wanted the first and second spot. So that means when it's time to close the game, we're going to see tonight. Because Kevin Durant, he's one of them ones when you get into the clutch. He's one of them ones. Right? He's one of them ones. So is Luka and Reaves, are y'all going to be ready for this challenge tonight of having to go band for band with Kevin Durant? Are you guys ready for that? One of the best scorers the NBA has ever seen? You guys ready? You guys ready to close out games now? Because that's what's going to be required. It's going to be on y'all to close. And guess what? When they get their asses beat, it won't be no blaming of DeAndre Ayton anymore. Those days are gone. Those days are over. So tonight is going to get really interesting, folks. I can't wait. Man. The cupcake games are over with, folks, for the next 6 games. You guys won't have another cupcake game until about another week or so. Yeah, all your cupcake games are over, folks. You guys have had a cupcake schedule pretty much to start the month of March, realistically. You guys have had a lot of cupcake games. Look at these games the Fakers have played in March, folks. They had the lowly Sacramento Kings. That was nasty. We had the Pelicans. That was nasty. We went on the road to the Nuggets. That's a good game. You guys had the Pacers, the worst team in the sport. You had the New York Knickerbockers. They came in, 12 o'clock matinee game. They were sleepwalking, so we beat the Knickerbockers. Then you had the Timber Pups. They came in sleeping too. I don't know what was going on with Anthony Edwards, right? Then you had the Chicago Bulls, who put out a 5'7" Asian man on the court, which was honestly shameful. The Chicago Bulls should be ashamed of their damn selves for what they did in that game. They had a 5'7" Chinese nigga out there running around. That was diabolical, okay? Really, your two toughest matchups, folks, were against the Nuggets this month. I mean, let's keep it a buck, right? So now we have like a interesting, intriguing matchup tonight. Lakers come in this game, folks, 1.5 point favorites, which I think is a little bit absurd considering the way Houston whooped the Lakers' ass on Christmas and the fact that they're at home, folks. I don't think that makes a ton of sense. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat right now. Shout out to Liquid Drano with the $5 super chat.
Hey, I fuck with your boy. Fuck with your boy.
LeBron fans.
He said, Reg, Reaves and Luka will not do nothing today. They got Eason and Thompson on their asses. Well, unfortunately, Liquid Drano, that's just not going to be good enough if that's the case, dude. Because once again, if you guys are going to tell me that Luka and Reaves are the stars of the show, then they have to show up. I mean, like, what are we talking about? So what are we saying? They're not going to show up tonight? No, this is a requirement when you're a superstar. There's no getting locked up and you're an all-star for 2 months. What do you mean, Liquid Drano? He's an all-star for 2 months. So you tell me he's going to get locked up by a nigga that didn't make the all-star team and Amin Thompson? Was Amin Thompson even an all-star? He didn't make the all-star team. So no. No, dude. You're a 2-month all-star. You made the 2-month all-NBA team. So no, Ashton, you can't get locked up. Exactly, SP. Reaves, I need 30. Exactly. No, there's expectations now. You're no longer the little white boy that could. No, you're no longer the little white boy that could. Now you got to go guard the other team's best perimeter player, right? Or one of their best perimeter players. You got to go play lockdown defense, and then you got to go get 30 on the other end. Yeah, welcome to superstar territory, pussy. Yeah. Yeah, now you guys see how AD felt. Yeah, Laker fans, Faker fans. Remember when you guys demanded that AD give you all NBA caliber defense on one side of the ball, and then on the other end you guys wanted 30 points and 12 rebounds? Yeah, what happened? Oh, let me guess. You guys only have expectations for black players, right? No, King J, no. No. You gotta, if Reaves is gonna be our second option used to be Anthony Davis. Now it's Aston. So guess what? AD had to be all NBA on defense, and he had to be 30 and 12 on offense. Why are we expecting any less from Aston? Why? Because you guys know that this is all we're doing is just downgrading. You guys know this is a downgrade. Let's keep it a buck, man. We went from LeBron James as our 1, Anthony Davis as our 2, to Puka as our 1, and Aston as our 2. So y'all got mad at AD. Y'all said he always hurt. He can't stay healthy. He need to go. He can't play games. But y'all required him to play all NBA defense and then go get you 30 and 12 on offense. But Reaves can come out against the Rockets on Christmas and score 12 points? And that's okay? No, I'm holding y'all accountable, dude. Y'all not gonna have it both ways over here. Now, maybe on Fakers Nation, you can have it both ways. But no, not over here at the locker room. I'm not Legend of Winning, okay? I ain't Trevor Lane. I ain't Jovan Buha. I ain't none of them clowns. You gonna get held accountable over here. White, black, green, blue, or purple. We don't give a fuck. We roast everybody. Like I said, now all of a sudden I'm a racist nigger because I'm roasting the white boys. But when I was roasting Darvin Ham and D-Lo, none of y'all said nothing. No, you guys are going to get this work too. Okay? Black players have been dealing with getting their name drugged through the dirt for years. But now that it's you guys' turn, now y'all are sensitive. Now everybody's racist? Really? Yo, this nigga think I'm playing with him. Like I said, Kitchy, come back tomorrow, nigga. I already told you, stop typing in all caps, nigga. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, pussy? Fuck out of here. I already told you, stop typing in all caps, nigga. What's wrong with this stupid ass nigga, chat? Why don't you be like Luis? Why don't you be like Luis and send a super chat since you want to be seen so bad? You fucking goofy. Shout out to Luis with the $5 super chat.
First time in a long time.
Austin Reaves. Foul baiter.
Hurting deeply inside.
Shout out to Luis, man. Nigga talking about why can't I type in all caps? I'm excited. Fuck out of here, nigga. I already gave you a warning, nigga. Ladies and gentlemen, phone lines are open. This nigga, what? This nigga said rant man. Okay. Call it what you want, dude. I don't think this is a rant, in all honesty. I think this is just kind of, you know, ethical Lakers basketball conversation. That's what I think this is. I wouldn't classify this as a rant. Now, maybe after the game when the Lakers get their asses beat, maybe that'll be a rant. But I think we're just having a conversation right now. I think we're just having a conversation. So like I said, everybody knows that the Fakers have downgraded in this whole ordeal ever since we traded Anthony Davis. Trading Anthony Davis for Luka is a downgrade. And then people will say, oh, but AD's hurt. He doesn't play. Well, you're not going to win either way. I mean, okay, let's just say we would have kept AD and he would have been hurt. Okay, we wouldn't have won. But we trade for Luka, he's playing, and we still not going to win. So, I mean, it's the same result. I mean, it's the same shit. You're still not going to win. He says, I get it now. You're a racist, butthurt LeBron fan? Yeah, LeBron is lame as fuck, dude. So let me guess. What are you? A Puka Dookie booty licker? Like, what are you? I don't know. At least I'm a fan of greatness. You're a fan of, like, what? White trash? I mean, look at your car. Look at your car in your profile picture. You look like you live in a trailer home. What kind of car is this? Yeah, you look poor. Nigga got this cheap-ass car up here. What kind of car is this? Yeah, maybe that's why you like Reaves and Luka. You're fucking poor. You like trailer park trash. I'm sorry, dude. I didn't grow up in a trailer park, dude. I didn't grow up in a trailer park with you and Reaves. Okay? I didn't grow up sleeping in RVs. You know, we had homes and shit. We didn't grow up in the sticks in Arkansas somewhere, okay? Like I said, the phone lines are open. Nobody gives a shit about you know, Reaves and Luka. Okay? We don't care, dude. They just suck. That's all. That's my only gripe. But once again, they've been playing well over the last 5 or 6 games against bottom feeders. So now that we're going to get a step up in competition tonight, I don't want to hear any excuses. Let's get back into the last time out, though. We played the Houston Rockets, folks. Let's go back to December on Christmas Day. You know what's funny, right? I literally betted on every single game that day. And for whatever reason, I decided to bet on the Lakers that game, and that was the one game I lost. But I remember that day. I betted on everybody that day, and I won every bet. I betted on the Knicks to beat Cleveland. They won. I betted on the Spurs to beat OKC. They won. I betted on, I think it was Dallas and Golden State, I think. I can't remember who won that game, but I know I won that game too. I think Dallas might have covered that game on the spread, and then I bet on this stupid-ass Lakers game, and the Lakers lost me my money, but it was all good because I bet on the Nuggets game, and then they beat Minnesota. So I remember this game, folks. Like I said, 12 points from Aston is not going to cut it. at all. So yeah, that's really the story of the game to me on Christmas. Was the play of Aston. You know, he's got to show up every single night now. You know, we can't look to LeBron anymore. And this is what you guys wanted, Faker fans. You know, you guys wanted this. You know, you wanted LeBron to take a back seat to Aston. So how did LeBron outscore Aston? How? You can't have that anymore. Now, Kwame, let me ask you a question, dude. Do you agree with my stance that Aston, he basically has to show up every night now that LeBron is taking a back seat to him?
He don't have to stand up every night, but he has to stand up. Yeah, like basically, yeah. Like, you know, like you have to play consistently. I say like that. But you don't have to like stand up, like score like 35 points a game or something like that.
Why not?
Because it's not necessary. All you have to do is necessarily like what he has to do is score between 20 and 30 points. Because the Lakers right now are in good position because we're not going to get the second seed. That's not going to happen. So what I would like to see happen is like the Lakers get the third seed. If the Lakers can go 8-7,
can I ask you a question?
Because he had 15 games.
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
What did Faker fans demand from Anthony Davis on a night in, night out basis?
They demanded him to play.
No. When he was on the floor, what did Faker fans demand?
Him to be out there on the floor, to be available.
Right. So when he was on the floor, what did they demand?
Oh, yeah, and he did that. And he did it. And then, you know, guess what? If he kept doing that, guess what? He would have been still at Lakers.
Can you explain to us what they demanded?
Yeah, and guess what? If he was available,
can you explain
he probably might be still on the team.
What Faker fans demanded from Anthony Davis when he was on
to
the
be
basketball
available and to
floor?
play.
Okay.
Yes.
You're not understanding the question, nigga.
No, you're not understanding the question.
No.
If you don't play,
No. I'm going to ask it one more time. Can you explain what was Anthony Davis's responsibilities when he was on the floor for the Fakers?
What was his responsibilities? His responsibilities is to be an anchor defensively, to close down the paint, okay, and also be a post-up threat, okay, and also knock down some threes every once in a while. That's what his job was. And when he played, okay, and was healthy and was pussy, he was good at doing that. That's what he was supposed to do. But guess what? The dude is not available enough. Case in point, he's not available now. Okay? He's not even playing for the team he's supposed to be playing for.
You're wrong, dude.
So Luka is playing right now, and he's averaging 30 points a game. Just by that, he won a championship. It don't matter, not won the championship, but that means that the Lakers won that trade because he's available.
No. Stop, Kwame. Here's what you're not understanding, right? And this is my problem with Faker fans, and I can see what you guys are going to do moving forward. I can already see the play you guys are going to run. Like I said, I know all your plays. I know all your sets. I know all your ATOs, and I know all the actions you guys like to get into once you guys get your ass beat, right? You run the same play every post-game show when you get your ass beat. Now, here's my issue. We went from LeBron being the number one option and AD being the number two option, correct? Exactly. Now, our number one is Puka, and our number two is Aston. That in and of itself is a downgrade. We had two number one top 75 players as our first and second option. Now we got Puka and Aston as our first and second option. So we've completely downgraded, and we've dropped the bar and basically put the bar on the ground so that way Luka and Reaves can step over it. That's number one. Now, let's get to Reaves, right? Because Anthony Davis, I asked you what his responsibilities were when he was on the Lakers. I've already said it, Kwame. His responsibilities as a Laker were to be an all NBA caliber defender on defense and then go and get you 28 and 12 on the offensive side of the floor. So Faker fans demanded AD anchor the defense like you just stated and then go and get you 28 and 12 offensively. So what I'm telling you and all the Faker fans out there is if you guys want to downgrade from Anthony Davis as your number 2 to Aston Reaves, the last time out on Christmas when we played the Rockets, Aston had 12 points and was getting cooked defensively. And I am telling you and all these Faker fans that is completely unacceptable. I am not tolerating that level of production from Aston Reaves. If he wants to be the second option on the LA Lakers, the most prestigious franchise in the sport, 12 points on offense and then getting cooked defensively will not cut it. It will not cut it. I'm not going. I refuse. Let me let 444 on here. I'm going to let you ponder on that, Kwame. Let me let 444 get in here. 444, what you got, man?
So, Red, you asked the question to Kwame, and it's very interesting, and it shows you how some fans are psychologically, honestly toxic. They don't know what they're looking at. You ask them a simple question. What was required? What was the expectation? Kwame, your response is, to be available. You're lying. Let me remind you what the expectation was when it came to Anthony Davis. It not only was to be healthy, he needed to be a defensive juggernaut, and he also needed to be an offensive juggernaut. How do we know this? Reg, I know you can recall the many games that Anthony Davis had defensively doing everything on the court, but maybe he put up 19 points, 18 points, 20 points. It wasn't good enough. Why? Because they said as a second option, as a second option, as a superstar, offensively, he needs to put up numbers. They were even comparing him to Giannis and other players, superstars that were putting up 25 or better, et cetera, right? The bottom line is that the requirements were a lot rigid, a lot higher for Anthony Davis. And this is why I think Reg is making the statement about black players, superstars. They're required. They're held to a whole nother level. But what's so funny is that on the other side, Luka can put up the numbers, but no one talks about the defense. You don't see fans complaining in crowds saying, he's putting up numbers, but we need, we need efficiency. We need defense from him. We need all this. We need him to stop complaining to refs. You don't hear that. But I heard it a lot with Anthony Davis. Oh, man. Never mind the fact that Anthony Davis was the defensive juggernaut, cleaning up everybody's defensive assignment, taking the wear and tear on his body, sacrificing himself.
And 444.
And also, go ahead.
And not to cut you off, but that's in my opinion what contributed to a lot of the injuries.
Oh no, it's not even a speculation. This is basic logic. If my output is more than yours, if I have to do more things than you have to do on the court, obviously I run a higher risk of getting injured.
Exactly.
He's doing everything. That's just the bottom line. But no one talks of where were the crowds of people, the fans, blaming the Lakers front office and saying this is a travesty. They're destroying a superstar right before our eyes. Where was that? There was no voice for that. No one talked about it. Now, granted, did I complain about Anthony Davis being available? Yeah, of course. But objectively looking at it, I know what contributed to that.
Exactly.
And what contributed to that
And
Go ahead.
and I used, not to cut you off, but I used to do the same thing. I used to get upset at AD for always getting injured, and then I would have to remind myself, wait, this guy did tell us he doesn't like playing the 5. This guy did tell us to go get him some help at the center position. Like, he let it be known. So, and I remember when Darvin, I think it was the start of the 23 season, the 23-24 season, Darvin was like, oh yeah, well, you know, it's not that he won't play center for us. He will do it. It's like they just kept overriding him. You know what I'm saying? And it's supposed to be your star. You know, as soon as Luka got here, y'all asked him what he needed. You feel me? And y'all went out and did it for him. But when it was AD, it's like, oh, well, stop being soft. It's like, nah, bro, y'all can't do that.
Yeah, my thing is, like I say, they require a lot from AD. They require a lot from LeBron. And it should be no different for Aston and Puka. It should be no different. Unfortunately, though, unfortunately, it will be different though, because the media will not address it, because the media still doesn't address the fact. That's why Don C is afraid of San Antonio. Because why? Oh, I know why. Because those players are going to expose your quote unquote so-called superstars, because they may have some type of offensive game, but their defense lacks. And when that real defense is on them, their offense may struggle. Because what makes you a superstar, I'm going to be honest, like you look at Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's a superstar. This dude without Jason Tatum is going out there and putting up MVP numbers. His team is second seed in the East. And even though they tried to rush Tatum back to try to steal that light, it still didn't work. Because Tatum is still, unfortunately, not the best player on the Celtics. Jaylen Brown is. And if y'all think Aston is a Jaylen Brown, y'all are crazy. He's not that. And that's why he's afraid of San Antonio, because those players are going to expose our quote-unquote superstars. And that's just the reality. That's just the harsh reality. Luka is great offensively, but not really. He's inefficient, and he doesn't play defense. And what superstar is not a two-way player? It's just hard. I mean, they're not Steph, and it's not Golden State. So, sorry. We can only hide them so much.
Exactly. And it's just hard for me to believe that you can build around two guys that other teams salivate at. Like they know they can expose you. Like, because like when we were playing Denver, right, and we had LeBron and AD, Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic weren't exposing LeBron and AD. Like, those guys played Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic to a draw, essentially. Where we were getting beat was Dennis Schroeder, D'Lo, Austin Reaves. Y'all couldn't compete with Michael Porter Jr., Bruce Brown, KCP. That's where we were losing the series. So it's like, now y'all want to build around guys that literally every year get exposed? That's your genius strategy? Like, that doesn't even make sense.
And if we're going to be honest, they still can't compete against Bruce Brown, because you saw what Bruce Brown was doing in the last game we played against Denver. Coming off the bench, he was a problem in that Lakers game. They don't have an answer for that type of style of play. They don't have an answer for that type of aggression. These guys, they don't have it. And I get it. Everyone is on a high. It's just crazy. Yo, honestly, it's kind of sickening to see how they flip-flop. We
just look 444. Just 2 weeks ago, Brian Windhorst said, it can't work. Now they're the 3rd seed and everybody's all excited. But you want to know why I love it, 444? Because now the fall is going to be so much more satisfying. And that's why I'm doing this show, letting them know, no, y'all don't have no more excuses.
Well, one thing we got to consider though, right? Remember, we have in this equation, there's this element called referees. So their plan could work if they unleash the referees to essentially cheat for the Lakers. And this is just a fact, man. I mean, some of the calls were egregious. I'm sorry. Some of the calls are egregious. And if they implement that strategy, then we might be looking at something a little different. And we all know that that's a possibility because we saw it in the Denver game. Think about it. The Lakers had to win that game. Like, if you think about it, that game, the league wanted the Lakers to win that game. And that's why you saw the report that you saw about the foul that Reaves got. You know what I mean? This stuff is interesting, bro. It's about creating the fandom, and they will do whatever it takes. And I wouldn't be surprised if,
First time in a long time.
Austin Reaves. Foul baiter.
Hurting deeply inside.
All right, I don't know what happened with 444, but we got Kwame. Kwame, get back in here, dude. You've had some time to digest it, dude. Pause. What are your thoughts? Wait, actually, give me 1 second. Hold that thought, Kwame. We got JJ. Shout out to JJ. He says, remember, AR said himself that AD covered for him on defense. Exactly. Kwame, we're no longer going to allow you to give excuses for Luka and Reaves.
I never gave an excuse for anybody on this team. LeBron, anybody. He got injured, didn't he? And he didn't play basically the whole year after that.
We didn't hear you, Kwame. What'd you say?
AD, when the first game he played for the Mavericks, he got injured. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the problem with AD. AD's a great player when he's available, but when he's not, he ain't nothing. He might as well be like Michael Jordan because he's retired. He ain't doing nothing. He ain't playing. I'd rather have somebody, Austin Reaves, who don't play defense than somebody who ain't playing. So that's a step up, unfortunately for you, okay? That's something you have to wrap your head around. If you can't wrap your head around, you don't understand logic. You don't understand how the game of basketball is played. Either you play or you don't play.
No, I don't think you
Like,
I don't think you get it, Kwame. There's no way the Lakers can win the trade. The only way that the Lakers could win the Luka AD trade is if Luka wins a championship. That's the only way, because AD won us a championship. So we traded away our franchise pillar, a guy that helped us win a championship, for Luka. So the only logical way you could say this trade worked out is if Luka wins a championship. The longer he doesn't win a championship, the more stupid it's going to look. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. We got 444 back on the show. What's going on, man? What were you saying?
Sorry. Kwame. Sorry. Hold on. He keeps talking about AD being injured, but he refuses to realize the Lakers contributed to that. So I don't want to talk about that. That's not we created the injury prone AD. because we didn't care. The Lakers front office didn't care. It was all a plan that was created to stop to stop LeBron. Let's just call a spade a spade. You know what I mean? It was all to stop LeBron. So you overwork your star player, and you put him in a position of vulnerability, and now he's, unfortunately, he's damaged goods. So yeah, and the narrative can continue. See, look, he's in Dallas and he's injured. Look, he's in Washington, he's injured. Yeah, we won the trade to kind of overshadow the truth. And the truth is that the Lakers front office destroyed AD. And that's just what it is. You see, they're doing the opposite when it comes to Aston Reaves. They do the opposite. They don't destroy him. They employ him. They do whatever it takes to protect his image, to protect him. They even do things like, hey, you're going to fake an injury and sit out for a few weeks. We need to protect your value. The wear and tear is starting to show. We don't need people to see that you really don't have the mechanics and the fortitude to really be a superstar. We're going to take you out. You're injured. So now what do you see all these podcasters there? Yeah, well, last year his big toe was swollen. That's the reason why he put up the numbers he put up, and he was just really not good in the playoffs. Aston Reaves before the injury, he was an all-star, pulling all-star numbers. It looks like, he's getting back to his all-star form because the injury, it took a while. Like, we see the play. We see the play. Like Reg said, this trade only makes sense and only will be a success if Luka wins the championship. If he doesn't do it, it's a garbage trade. It was the worst trade. Bottom line, because Luka doesn't have much left in the game. He already walks around like an old man, and he's in his 20s. Let's keep that real. So who really is hurt? Luka is very close to being the same way, going at the rate that he's going.
Bro, I'm just trying to tell you, bro. A person who is available to play is better than a person that doesn't play. You know what a person that doesn't play is? Either injured or they're retired or they weren't in the league in the first place. Okay? I'm getting tired of making sense to y'all. I'm really getting tired of this. You guys got anything that makes sense? Do you guys have anything?
I mean, I've kind of already explained it to you 1,000 times.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
So, Kwame, if you're available to play and you do nothing,
okay. Cool.
Listen, Kwame, if you're available to play and you don't produce, what does that make you?
It makes you suck.
Okay, so you've answered your question.
Mm-hmm. And then what is Reaves doing? It's not nothing, bro. He's averaging 20 plus points a game.
How is he acquiring those points, and who is he playing against to achieve those points, Kwame?
NBA teams.
He's playing what?
NBA teams. With NBA players on again
Kwame,
on those
let
teams.
me ask you a question. Do you think that Jamal Murray will have a game like he had last, like really like a horrible game? Do you think he'll have a game like that again?
Not consistent basis, no.
Do you think that if Jamal Murray was like, the Jamal Murray that we've known him to be, do you think that game would have maybe looked a little different?
If Luka shot 48% from the field, it wouldn't matter. So you can say a whole bunch of what ifs. I don't know what you're saying. If LeBron averaged like what he averaged, 22 points a game, okay, it wouldn't matter. He had 17 in that game.
The point I'm trying to make is that Luka and Reaves, they've benefited from players that typically are produce a certain amount of points, a certain style and level of play. Unfortunately, in those particular games, those players, which is kind of ironic that Jamal Murray, Anthony Edwards, and Brunson, for some strange reason, when they played against the Lakers, they all were like shitty. Like shitty. Like it was just like no one expected them to go for what they went for. You know what I mean? So I view those as like anomalies. I don't view it as the norm. You know what I mean? So was it really about what Luka and Reaves did, or was it more about what the other players did not do, which makes them look kind of, like superstars, like real superstars? Like I don't think Jamal Murray would have a game like that again, personally speaking. He just played bad. That was bad.
Yeah, for me personally, like I said, the last time we played the Rockets 4-4-4, Reaves had 12 points on Christmas. He had 12 points. I'm telling Laker fans, and I'm telling everybody, prior to LeBron James coming back a couple of games ago, the narrative was, well, this team plays better without LeBron. So LeBron came back. He was very passive against Chicago, picked his spots. We won the game. The last game out against Denver, same thing. Very passive, picked his spots. The Lakers won the game. So we can clearly see the team can be successful with LeBron James taking a lesser role. So that excuse won't work for you guys anymore. So now that we're taking a step up in competition on the road tonight versus the Houston Rockets, what I'm saying is a 12-point game for Austin Reaves, that's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it. And you have to do what AD did. Simple as that. You have to do what AD did. AD was our second option then. You're our second option now. So the expectation shouldn't be any different for Reaves if y'all are going to elevate him to a second option like Anthony Davis. The standard should be the same. You got to go out there and you got to figure out a way to get it done on both sides of the ball. That's where I'm at with it.
You agree, Kwame?
I believe this, okay? That Austin Reaves is better than somebody who don't play at all. And that's what AD is right now. So that's why we won that trade.
4-4-4. He's still stuck on AD being injured. Like, dude,
I don't,
for the 15th time, we understand. But we're talking about when AD was on the floor, what was required of him. We understand he's injured right now. We get that. But we're talking about when he was on the floor. Now he hung up. Okay, he rage quit. All right, it's all good. When you're on the floor, when AD was on the floor, the requirement for him was to play all NBA defense and to get us 28 and 12 on the other side of the floor. It's got to be the same for Austin. Or else Laker fans are lowering the bar, and my only logical explanation would be because, he's white? I mean, that would be the only reason why. Because I remember when Russ came here, people, even though Russ was a little bit older, people expected prime Russ. And when Russ didn't give us prime Russ, they were done with him.
No, that's very true. I mean, even with what's the other dude with the dreadlocks? D'Lo.
Yep.
I mean, the expectations. That's why I said these Laker fans are very interesting, because they were very vocal about D'Lo. They were very vocal about Russ. They were very vocal about AD. So,
right. But
I don't.
But 4-4-4. But when it's Luka and Reaves, you notice how they're always willing to kick the can down the road. It's always but we got cap space this summer, or but this team wasn't. This is what Don C was saying last show. But this team wasn't built around Luka. What? Like, I don't understand. They always have an excuse for Luka and Reaves. But when it was Russ, when it was AD, when it was D'Lo, everybody, D'Lo was here a year and a half. Russ was here a year and a half. They didn't get Pat Bev was here for 6 months.
Yeah, that's true.
Lonnie Walker was here a year. These guys didn't make it 2 years with Laker fans. Malik Beasley, he lasted 3 months before Laker fans was like, nah, he can't shoot. But with Reaves gets 5-6 years. And then they still want to pay him. They still want to give him 2 more, extra years. It's ridiculous. Why does Reaves get 6 years?
I mean,
D'Lo was an all-star and he got a year and a half. D'Lo was the second pick in the draft, 444.
That's a very good point. I mean, obviously, when they started seeing the fandom around Reaves, man, and of course the fandom was obviously packaged. It's really off the back of LeBron, you know what I mean? So playing next to LeBron, playing next to AD, he was able to, get some of that light,
Cultivate a following.
Cultivate a following, man. I mean, it's so obvious, and I think this is, I think because he really plays hard. Because the thing with Reaves is that he has the right, core energy. He just don't have the physical capability to, really exercise what he would like to do at the highest level. He really don't. So I think that is what some people kind of get. But at some point, that's just not enough. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, man, the little engine that could, at some point, you just got to get over that. You know what I mean? You just can't do it. You know what I mean? And you clearly see, when that clip you show of when they playing against San Antonio, and, the guard there. He doesn't have it, And when the competition it steps up, you clearly see it. You clearly see it. When he has a defender on him that doesn't allow him to do all the dribbles and all that, and when that stuff gets shut down, he really he struggles. And that's just what it is. Great player against bum teams, though. I don't have a problem with that. But trying to make him a second option, I don't know. This may backfire. This might backfire.
It's probably the most. It's probably the most absurd strategy I've ever seen from the Lakers.
I think it's.
I mean, seriously, when have you ever heard of an undrafted guy being a second option? Even Fred VanVleet, when he won with the Raptors, I mean, he was probably their third, fourth option, fifth option. I forget who was on that team. Ibaka and Kawhi, Pascal, Kyle Lowry.
Yeah.
So yeah, me personally, I think it's probably the most absurd plan that I've ever seen a franchise have, is to make an undrafted guy to replace Anthony Davis, who's a number 1 pick, and he was your second option. We're going to replace him with an undrafted guy. And we're going to make him the second option. That's the most bizarre plan I've ever heard. Like I said, I don't hear about anybody. When Ben Wallace was undrafted, Fred VanVleet, these guys were your 4th, 5th, 6th option. Ben Wallace, when he was on the Pistons, he was their last option. They had Tayshaun Prince, Rip Hamilton, Chauncey Billups, Rasheed Wallace. He was the 5th option in the starting lineup. He wasn't their second option. Fred VanVleet. They had Kawhi, Pascal Siakam, Ibaka, Mark Gasol, Kyle Lowry. Like, he wasn't the second option. They're trying to make Aston the second option. And then when we get up on the show 444, and we're like, bro, this just doesn't really make a ton of sense. Oh, you're just racist. Oh, you're just hating because he's white. Oh, it's like, bro, really think about this from a logical perspective. This doesn't make. Do you see the young boys coming up right now? 444, Darius Acuff Jr.
Of course.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Do you see the Darren Petersons, the AJ DeBonzas? These are going to be first round picks. They're going to come in, and the first day they step on the floor, they would be better than Austin Reaves. There's just a gap in talent.
Yep. That's what makes this really disgusting, though, because somewhat it's like we're kind of forced. Man, I ain't gonna say forced, but they're really trying their best to really make Aston be something that he's not. You know what I mean? And that's just all. That's the part that I just don't like. Like, I'm like, how does a person who's not a superstar get the amount of foul calls he gets? If that's not a plan behind closed doors, you know what I mean? Like, who made the call? Who's paying for that? Who's getting the envelope? You know what I mean? Like, there's no way. There's no way. How is he going to get more calls than a LeBron James? If that's not a telltale sign, I don't know what is. When you got LeBron James legitimately getting fouled. That part disgusts me. I get mad when I see that. And Laker fans are so thirsty, they become unethical watching, because when you clearly can't even call out the bias and the cheating because you just want the win, then it's like you're kind of a part of the problem too.
We got 444. We got some dude in the chat. He says, y'all have your narrative. It makes no difference what AR or Luka do. Play better defense, make game winners, score 51 points. You will still stick to your bigoted takes. Shaking my head. No, there is something that they can do, and that's do what LeBron and AD did, and that's win a championship. And that's really what this show is about. I did this show tonight, and I'm going to continue to do shows moving forward in the future, 444, to basically let everybody know there are no more excuses. I said on the last show, the floor for me is for this team to at least get to the finals. If Luka's as good as y'all claim, because like you said, score 51 points, make game winners, do all this extra stuff, right? Okay, cool. So you're telling us, right, that he's elite, and these guys are elite, and they can play. So I'm telling you, right now the Lakers are the 3rd seed. Y'all saying Sengun been ruled out in the chat. Cool. There is no excuse now moving forward for why this team can't get to the finals. There is no juggernaut in the West. There is no 73-9 Warriors plus adding Kevin Durant. There's no Shaq and Kobe Lakers. There's no San Antonio Spurs with Popovich. No, and Tim Duncan and Kawhi. There is none of that. You have an upstart OKC team that got lucky last year because Halliburton tore his Achilles in Game 7 of the finals. There ain't no juggernaut out west. And let some of you Luka fans tell it. Luka's already beaten SGA. So y'all shouldn't be scared of OKC. You damn sure shouldn't be scared of anybody else, because ain't nobody else really done nothing outside of Denver. So that's what I'm here to tell you, right? Since you always think it's about hating. No, I'm actually saying the team is good enough now, because the role players are playing better, that this team, in my opinion, if Luka and Reaves are as good as y'all claim, this team should be good enough to get to the finals. 4-4. Isn't this the highest scoring duo in the league? Luka and Reaves?
Oh yeah, no, it's the best backcourt in the league.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
So now Reaves is no longer the little white boy that could. Now he's elevated. So now guess what comes with elevation? Expectations.
Absolutely.
You don't get
Listen,
to get away with saying, "Oh, he's undrafted," and oh, no, there's no more excuses now.
Oh no, the thumbnails are out. I've seen a lot of reports. Best backcourt in the league. So I'm curious to be able to watch them go up against other backcourts, man. I want to see the greatness continue to grow. I mean, we got the two coldest white boys in the NBA. Did you know?
Exactly. So to answer your question, there's nothing that they can do. No, there's actually something that they can do, and that's get to the finals this year. Get to the finals.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know why that guy would say
first
that.
round 4-4-4. Do they think a first round exit is going to be acceptable for the best backcourt duo, the highest scoring player in the league? A first round exit is acceptable?
No. Finals is the minimum. Finals. What excuse? We got the two coldest white boys in the league, best backcourt in the league. Okay.
The best 3-point shooter.
The best 3-point shooter. Lead the league in scoring. Okay. Then we got Aston Dribble Reaves. I mean, he got the best handles in the league right now.
He's better than Kyrie.
Yeah. He's better than Kyrie for sure. I mean, no, we're killing, and we got the best foul baiters in the league. We got both of them. So with the referees, the foul baiting, leading scoring, 3-point percentage, the handles, what excuse do we have? There should be no excuse.
You don't have one. Like, I'm being honest. There's no excuse. Like, I was on Twitter yesterday, right? And I'm arguing with some dude 444, and he's like, oh, Luka's dragging this mid team to the third. He dragged this mid team to the third seed. I'm like, well, that means the team isn't mid then, if they're the third seed.
Wow.
But this is what they want to do. They want to be able to give him all the credit while simultaneously calling everybody else garbage. No, it don't work like that. If the team is in the third seed, the team is in the third seed. That's not a mid team. A mid team is a team that's in the middle of the pack. That would be like the 8th seed. Because if there's 16 teams in the conference, mid would be like 8, 7, 8, 9. That would be in the middle. If you're the third seed, this is not a mid team. But this is what they do. They always they don't even understand that they're doing it. It's psychologically ingrained in their minds at this point that they don't even realize the stuff that they're saying. They want to be able to give Luka and Reaves all the credit, but then when they get their ass beat, they want to simultaneously be able to blame everybody else. No, if they're the best players on the team, they have to be held accountable for the team's failures and losses.
Correct. Agreed. I agree.
Now listen, 444, before I let you go, they said Sengun is going to be out. Real quick, what are your predictions for tonight's game? Who you got winning the game?
I got the Lakers winning.
Yeah, I do too. Without Sengun, I got Lakers.
I got the Lakers winning.
Now 444, think about it, right? The last 5 games in a row, it's been kind of like funny. So we caught the Knickerbockers on a matinee game. They were sleeping. We caught the Timber Pups. Anthony Edwards, I think he went 2 for 14. He was bullshitting. We played the Bulls. They're tanking. Then we got the Nuggets. Jamal Murray 1 for 14. He was playing.
Yep.
Now we're getting the Rockets without Sengun. Like this stretch it's been funny to say the least. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's been suspect.
Exactly.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Very suspect.
Because you know what's so crazy, right? But then you look at Minnesota, the last game they played, Anthony Edwards is balling. I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know, and no one's gonna tell me he was intimidated by the best backcourt.
Yeah. But yeah, if Sengun's not going to play, I would fully anticipate the Lakers winning tonight's game 4-4-4.
For sure.
So yeah, well, I'll just watch the game and, I'll be back after the game 4-4-4. Good call though. Appreciate you. All right, bro.
Likewise.
Peace. Yeah, shout out to 444. Shout out to that clown Kwame. I don't know what happened to him, Chad. I guess he just rage quit. I don't know. But shout out to the clown Kwame as well. But yeah, folks, no Sengun tonight. I gotta roll with 444, folks. I mean, if Houston's not gonna have one of their best players, and then the Lakers are gonna have pretty much everybody, I would just go ahead and assume the Lakers would win tonight's game. Now, would I be surprised if Houston were to still pull it out? No. But would I bet on Houston without Sengun? Probably not. I'd probably lean Lakers. And I guess that's why the line is at -1.5 or something like that. I don't know. So yeah, they're giving the Lakers a slight lean tonight without Sengun, which I kind of agree with. It'll still be a tough game, I think, for the Lakers to win on the road in Houston, but at the end of the day, I still got the Lakers, coming out of here victorious. But once again, I wouldn't be surprised either way. If Houston wins, that wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, I'm gonna roll with Lakers too, folks. Without Sengun, it is what it is. I don't know why he's not gonna play, but it is what it is. I guess his back hurt, so he's like, you know what? Not tonight. All right, dude. Whatever. He said the agenda is to make Luka and Aston look good before the playoffs. Okay, that's fine. He said, King J says it seems a little suspicious that the team's tanking against the Lakers. He said they will blame the third option. He said they will blame LeBron. So yeah, folks, good show. No excuses, man. Moving forward for the Fakers. No excuses, dude. Get the job done. Get to the finals, or else anything short of the finals at this point for the Fakers is an abject failure. A first round exit is not good enough. And anybody telling you that it is a clown, because you have plenty of help on this damn roster. Literally plenty. Okay. Literally plenty, folks. So yeah, this roster is better than the one we had last year going into the playoffs, I would say. Yeah, because the Luke Kennard pickup, the Marcus Smart edition, the DeAndre Ayton edition. Yeah, this team is better. So yeah, there's no excuses, folks, for Luka and Reaves to not get the job done going forward. So now, no more little white boy that could. Now there are expectations. Simple as that. Get the job done. Get to the finals. Anything short of that, in my opinion, is a failure. And I'm not going to allow Trevor Lane and, Fakers media to say, oh, this is a gap year and we're waiting for $50 million to go get more pieces. Fuck out of here. You got pieces now. You just going to swap the pieces out and then do it all again next year and then pay Austin $200 million? This is some bullshit. Like I said, folks, these people are trolling, man. I'm going to watch this game. No, it comes on in about 45 minutes. But yeah, I'm going to watch this game and we'll see what happens, folks. Good show. Shout out to everybody that tuned in. Hit that super chat. Shout out to JJ. Shout out to Luis. Shout out to Liquid Drano. And shout out to that clown, that bastard Max. Thanks, pussy. But yeah, folks, I'm out. An hour word from Dreamers Pro.
Look at what little old me found, written by Bleacher Report. Bleacher fucking Report wrote an article in 2018 saying Kobe Bryant was the player of the decade. I didn't say that. That's lying-ass Bleacher Report that said that in 2018. Now, I want to read what Bleacher Report had to say, because these are some lying motherfuckers. They are some lying bastards. All of them. Should I pull up a full-time LeBron jock sniffer and show you his... See, now y'all gonna make me do it to y'all, man. Nobody juggles LeBron's balls more than this dude. Nobody. This dude is a full-time ball juggler. He deleted a lot of his videos because he's an idiot. He goes on the internet and starts cursing like a crazy person. And then he gets his videos deleted. Let me show y'all his videos. If I hurt you, would you leave? LeBron fans, look. Look. Where are these magical views that are coming from LeBron? Look. Look. This is a LeBron sniffer. Look at him. Look, we can just keep going. It's LeBron every single day. LeBron, look. Every single second. So where are all these views? Where are all these views that y'all are talking about? Y'all saying, oh, Drimmers Pro's making money because he's talking about it. Okay, so where the views at?
Austin Reaves. Foul baiter.
I'm sorry in advance if I let you down.